Sales professionals make too much money. Let me rephrase that. Sales professionals spend too much money. I recently was asked if you can go back and talk to the younger version of yourself, what advice would you share? So I thought about that. I would go back to the younger version of myself on the first year I crossed six figures, on the first time I received $1,000 commission check, a $10,000 commission check, and so forth. And I would tell my younger self, you can't afford whatever you think you're going to buy. That is the honest truth. That's what I would tell myself. You may or may not be in that same boat, but that question did bring up a problem I think sales professionals are experiencing at a macro level. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused us to take a look at how we manage our finances, how well we're in position for unexpected disruptions. Sales professionals, bottom line, spend too much money. How many of you know a sales professional who's dependent on their next commission check to cover one of the basic necessities of life? Right? It's an unfortunate situation, but sales professionals spend more money than they typically should. They fall into this category because you make more money than most people can. You have that confidence that, hey, if I need more money, I can go out, work twice as hard. I can go out and hustle. I can make more money. The problem with that is when you need money and you're a sales professional, you have what we call commission breath. You have challenges that are coming through your entire presentation because the desperation for income, you can tell. It's really easy to sell a product when you don't need the money, but when you're in desperation mode and you need that money, you start to cut corners. You start to change your approach. You start to sound desperate in your sales call. What's the solution here? Really simple. The same advice I would tell myself when I was a younger version in sales. If you can't afford to buy it multiple times, you can't afford to buy it one time. If you want to go buy a $10,000 watch and you can't buy 5 of them and you can't drop 50 grand, then you can't afford the $10,000 watch. Drop that number down. If you want to go out and buy a $1,000 purse, but you can't buy 5 of them, then don't go buy the $1,000 purse or $2,000 purse or whatever the number is. If you can't buy it 5 or 6 times cash, then you can't buy it one time. That simple advice that I've applied to my personal finances has made such a difference. And I have to be honest, full disclosure, it took me a long time to learn that. I've had some fun, exciting experiences in life that I ended up, oh my goodness, I need this next $15,000 commission check. I need this next $30,000 commission check. I need this next whatever. You name it, I was in desperate mode looking for it. So when I implemented that and saying, okay, if I can't afford to buy it 5 or 6 times cash, then I can't afford to buy it once. It changed. My financial situation changed. My financial trajectory changed. The amount of money wasn't relevant. Whether it was making 100 grand or $1 million, that wasn't the issue. The issue was spending 100 grand or spending $1 million. And once you change the amount of money you spend, the amount of money you have, the amount of money you save naturally goes higher. Now I know my original mentor who talked to me about finances 17, 18 years ago would be proud of who I am today. However, I took him through the ringer because I was always spending more money than I should have. So that brings a new problem. We said sales professionals make a lot of money. How do you plan for your newfound income? You see, I've come across, I've hired, I've promoted, I've trained salespeople that have gone from 40, 50, 60 grand to 200, 300 grand, 400 grand. How do you plan for that newfound income? How do you assess what you need or what you don't need? Really simple, super simple. Get help. Get help, get a financial advisor, get a broker, get somebody who has your best interest in mind and somebody who can help educate you. Whether you manage your finances your own or you have an outside help, you definitely need a coach, a CPA, an accountant, somebody, and listen to the advice they give you. You pay them for a reason, which leads me to my last call to action today. Be sure to subscribe to the blog. However, there is an episode on the Catapulting Commissions podcast with Robert Gonzalez of mybooks.pro. And Robert talks a lot about how he manages his clients, which happen to be all sales professionals or entrepreneurs that have high income, and what he talks with them about and how he helps manage their finances and create long-term wealth. That's what I got for you today. Jump on that podcast episode. I'll leave a link to that podcast episode on my website. I'll leave a link to that podcast episode in the comments below. Other than that, guys, hopefully you're staying safe out there. I'm Anthony Garcia, and I'll see you on the next one.